One day we'll just film an episode of me just dusting all my movies and records and toys.
And it'll be called Dusting with Joe.
Oh, dude, I'll wear my Spider-Man apron, my cooking apron.
Yes.
And I'll just dust, and I'll be like, and this toy, I purchased it.
And then you'll use a web shooter for your for cleaning.
Yeah.
Somehow you could even just shoot your web at a duster, and then just go.
Good evening, and welcome to Fanatics of Film. I am Joe, and I'm here checking out the latest episode of the Venture Brothers. Season 7, Episode 8. It has been a long ride. We got 2 more episodes to the end of the 7th season, and then it'll probably be a couple more years before we get an 8th season, because this show operates differently. Pretty much just Jackson Public and Doc Hammer writing these things and nailing them and getting them out there, and they're taking their time and crafting a really good series. This particular episode, not quite as funny as some of the previous episodes this season, but it's a good... one of the things that I love about the Venture Brothers, and that's turned me on to it from the very beginning, is the pop culture amalgamation, the use of likenesses of characters from cartoons and comic books that I watched growing up, and then playing with them, and then introducing characters and building a world in that sort of sitcom vein, like Arrested Development or The Simpsons or home movies, Bob's Burgers, where they just bring characters back that you haven't seen in a few seasons, or make references and flashbacks, and you get deeper history on these characters. And this show just does not, it doesn't fail to deliver that. Yeah, all I can tell you is if you watch the Venture Brothers, basically this is kind of a test. I want to know out there who else is a Venture Brothers fan, and if you would like to join in on a discussion, talking about the show, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, what you hope is coming up, characters you're fond of. Me, I'm fond of Red Death, and of course Brock Sampson. You got Clancy Brown, and you've got Patrick Warburton. I love how they have brought on stellar guest voices over the years. H. John Benjamin. Recently, Mark Hamill did 3 voices on the episode before this, which was really surprising, because if you're a Star Wars fan, or if you're familiar with him for more family-friendly stuff, yeah, you probably don't want to watch that episode, because you'll be surprised. And so it was really cool. And Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman on Batman Animated, along with Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Did it remind you of what's the character? Something Cock, Doomcock or something?
From Jay and Silent Bob's Strike Back, Cockknocker. It was
in the vein of that.
It was along those lines. He was more subtle and more intimidating, but yeah, it's always weird to hear Mark Hamill drop the F-bomb. I'm just not used to it. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with it at all. It's just weird, because even when he's playing the Joker and he's being evil and stuff, he never goes there. So, well, I guess that's not true. I guess in The Killing Joke he kind of went there, but yeah, no. They've had people like Paul F. Tompkins on there, Patton Oswalt, tons of people, Kate McKinnon from SNL, tons of people who pop up on this show, and it's a really thick, dense, cool comic booky action adventure show for adults. And if you haven't seen the Venture Brothers, I suggest you get on Amazon and check that out.
Also on Hulu.
And Hulu. God, I can't believe I forgot. Nathan Fillion has been on this show several times as a Spider-Man knockoff who spits out webs from his butt. I don't know. It's a funny show. It's definitely not for adults. Or not for kids, it's for kidults. It's for adults.
With stuff like that, do they find themselves having to deal with copyright issues, or are they able to just dodge that?
Well, they're in the copyright. If it's a parody, you can get away with it. They can't really enforce that, which is why there's so many XXX rated parodies of Doctor Who and Marvel and DC. Yeah, you can totally dodge that. But the difference is not only is it a parody, but they change the designs are only vaguely similar. Like this episode has a guy who's vaguely similar to Daredevil. and his costume is only marginally similar to Daredevil, so they can get away with that. But I mean, most of their characters are amalgamations of characters from multiple Marvel and DC comics and shows like Scooby-Doo and G.I. Joe and the Hardy Boys, and it's so good. It's a rewarding series that I look forward to because I like comedy and I like to laugh and I like to have action while I'm laughing, and this show just does all of that and then some. It's definitely something worth checking out. It's the longest running show on Adult Swim original program. It's been going on since the pilot was in 2003. The series proper started in 2004. Pilot is a part of the continuity. You can't get that on Amazon or Hulu, I believe. That's on the DVDs. But so 7 seasons over what? 15 years? Yeah, 15 years. That's a long.
Is it the longest running though? Be over 7 seasons, or is it? Is it
longest running by as far as how
period.
long it's been? There are definitely more seasons of Aqua Teen and more episodes, but Aqua Teen's done. Like, it's the longest running. It's a show that aired within the first 3 years of Adult Swim being on the air. Actually, the first 2.5 years, so it was still an infant network, and it's the only show from that era that still has new episodes going. And it's probably because they take a few years between and maybe drop a special here or a short episode there, or a Christmas special or a Halloween special. And that's probably why they can keep it going, is because it just keeps getting thicker. And I don't know, it's like if you're a fan of shows like Arrested Development or Archer, where the storylines just get really complex and they start making references to previous storylines, so you can go back and you can watch it and you can catch jokes you didn't catch the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time. That's good. That's kind of how I justify any show that I go back to, is, am I going to get something out of this I didn't get the first time? And with comedy shows, you can, I think more than a lot of other shows, you can get those subtle jokes. So all about the Guild of Calamitous Intent. Their teams on this show are great. Yeah, the OSI and Sphinx and the Guild of Calamitous Intent. These are just great names for idiotic groups of heroes and villains. So this was just a quick episode just to engage, sort of test the waters, and see if anybody out there likes the Venture Brothers and would like to see us discussing the Venture Brothers. And if you notice on their shows, they'll have an episode 0. Usually those are behind the scenes featurettes. Sometimes they're trailers. So I'm going to have to get on there and check out, because if they've got something that I don't have on that stuff I've paid for, Amazon's going to get a very nasty tongue lashing from me.
A little talking to.
They're going to get a stern talking to right in the ear hole. So let us know what you think. Venture Brothers is something I would love to talk about. Yes, indeed. So like and subscribe.